Sergeant Adam Cade moved slowly through the thick jungle of Altari 4, his boots sinking slightly into the soft moss-covered ground. The air was heavy with moisture, and every breath felt like inhaling a cloud. Above him, strange purple vines hung low, some glowing faintly in the fading light. His visor flickered again, full of static. Then it went completely dark. "Great," Adam muttered, tapping the side of his helmet. "Last time I trust Terran tech in an alien storm." The solar flare had come without warning, cutting off communication with the rest of his unit. He had been scouting a nearby ridge when it hit. Now the storm was gone, but the damage remained. His gear was dead, the map was useless, and there was no way to call for help. Still, Adam wasn't worried yet. He had been through worse. He was a soldier. Lost wasn't new to him. He pushed forward, hoping to find higher ground or some kind of shelter. As he walked, he noticed something strange. The jungle ahead looked different too, perfect. The wild. Twisting plants gave way to smoother, softer ground. The trees there had straight silver trunks, and their leaves shone like glass. The colors shifted gently like a calm sea under moonlight. He stepped forward, as soon as his boot crossed the invisible line. Everything changed. The air felt cooler. The sounds of alien birds and insects stopped. No wind. No movement, just a deep silence that made his skin crawl. He paused. Something wasn't right. Then a voice echoed through the stillness. It was calm, smooth, and completely unfamiliar, but it spoke his language. "You should not be here, Terran." Adam spun around, rifle raised on instinct. But there was no target. He scanned the glowing trees, his heart pounding now. A few seconds passed. Then, from behind a tree that looked like crystal, she stepped out. She was tall and graceful, with smooth, pale blue skin that shimmered like water. Her long hair floated around her like smoke, and her eyes were silver, glowing faintly. She wore no armor, no weapon, just a simple wrap that matched the colors of the forest. Adam held his weapon steady, but his finger didn't move to the trigger. She didn't look afraid. In fact, she looked disappointed. "Who are you?" he asked, keeping his voice steady. "I should be asking you that," she replied. "You are far from your path. This is not a place for your kind. I got lost during the storm," Adam explained. "My systems went down. I didn't know this area was restricted." She tilted her head slightly. "You lie poorly, human. But perhaps you speak truth this time. Few of your kind reach this place." Adam lowered his weapon just a little. He didn't want to fight, not yet. "I don't want trouble," he said. "Just need shelter and a way to contact my team." "You will not find that here," she said, her voice firm. "This is sacred ground, no machines, no war. Only balance. Your presence breaks it." Adam frowned. "Sacred ground?" "I didn't see any warning signs." "No drones, no shields. Nothing said I couldn't come in." "That is the point," she said. "Those who do not belong will not return." "You are lucky I found you first." That didn't sound very lucky to Adam. He looked around again. Everything felt alive, not just plants, but the land itself, like it was watching him, judging him. "So what happens now?" he asked. She looked at him for a long moment, as if weighing something inside her mind. Then she turned and began walking deeper into the glowing forest. "Follow me," she said. Adam hesitated. Was this a trick, a trap? But then again, standing still in a place that made his skin crawl didn't sound smart either. He followed. They walked in silence. Strange flowers opened as they passed, lighting their path. The air grew warmer again, and the sounds of the forest returned, soft chimes and quiet echoes. Finally, they reached a small clearing. At the center stood a tall stone structure, covered in glowing lines. It pulsed with soft blue light like a heartbeat. "This is the heart of the grove," she said. "It is wounded. The storm caused damage. I must repair it." Adam looked at the structure, then at her. "And you want me to help?" She turned to him slowly. "I should end your life for stepping here. But the grove has spoken. It chose to reveal itself to you. That means there may be purpose in your arrival." "I don't believe in fate," Adam said. "You don't have to," she replied. Just do as I say. He gave her a tired smile. Well, I don't have many options, do I? No, she said simply. And so, a lost human soldier and an ancient alien guardian stood together in a place untouched by war, unlikely allies, silent strangers, but this was only the beginning. Something far greater was waking, and it had just taken notice. Adam followed the alien woman through the glowing forest. Strange plants lit their path with soft light, and the silver trees gave off a calm, humming sound. It was peaceful, almost too peaceful. His boots made no sound on the smooth crystal-like ground. Even the air smelled different, sweet, cool, and clean, like it had never been touched by machines or war. She didn't speak as she led him deeper into the grove. Her movements were graceful, almost like a dance, and she never once looked back. But Adam kept his eyes open. He didn't trust this place yet. He didn't trust her either. After a few minutes, they reached a small, round platform made of stone and glowing roots. The woman turned and finally faced him. "You may sit," she said, motioning to a smooth stone near the edge. "You need rest? Your energy is low?" Adam hesitated. "How do you know that?" "I can feel it," she said simply. "The grove tells me." He sat, still alert. "So, you're some kind of forest queen?" She gave a soft laugh. It was the first time he'd heard any emotion from her. "I am no queen," she said. "I am called Solari. I am the guardian of this place. It has been my duty for over 200 years. Adam's eyes widened. 200? "You don't look a day over 20, she raised an eyebrow. "Our kind ages differently. I was created to protect this land. My life is tied to it. As long as the grove lives, I live." Adam leaned back slightly. "You were created, like born in a lab?" "Yes," she answered. "By the ancient ones, long before your people reached the stars." He whistled low. "That's something." Solari moved toward the stone structure at the center of the clearing. It was tall, shaped like a pillar, and covered in glowing lines that blinked slowly. She placed her hands on it. A wave of light passed through the ground. "This is the grove core," she said. "It keeps the balance here. It controls the growth, the energy, the life of this forest. When the storm came, it was damaged." Adam stood up and walked over slowly. "Can it be fixed?" "Yes," she said. "But not by me alone. I need your help." He gave her a puzzled look. "Why me?" She turned to face him, her silver eyes serious. "Because you are inside the grove. That means the core accepted your presence. It never does that with outsiders. Somehow, you are linked now." Adam scratched his head. "I didn't do anything special," Solari nodded. "Sometimes that is how it begins." She handed him a small crystal device. It pulsed in his hand. "This is a memory key," she said. "It will show you what the grove once was and what it now suffers." Adam felt a tingling in his fingers. Then his vision blurred, and suddenly he was standing in a memory. He saw the grove in its full power, long ago. It was larger, brighter, alive in every way. Alien people tall like Solari walked peacefully among the glowing trees. Children laughed. Flowers danced in the air. Energy flowed through the forest like music, but then came fire. Machines dropped from the sky. They tore through the forest with fire and metal. Trees burned, crystals cracked. The ground turned black. The alien people fought back, but they were few, and the machines, they were human. Adam's breath caught in his throat. The memory ended, and he was back in the clearing. "You saw it," Solari said, her voice calm but cold. "Your people tried to take this world long ago." "That wasn't me," Adam said quickly. "That was generations ago. That war ended over 100 years back. Yet your kind still comes," she said, "still searches, still destroys." "I didn't know," Adam said. "I wasn't told." "They said this was an unexplored area." Solari narrowed her eyes. "Perhaps they lied to you." Adam said, "Nothing." He looked down at the crystal in his hand. "You think I'm like them?" he asked softly. She was silent for a moment. Then she shook her head. "No," she said. "If you were, the grove would have rejected you." "It didn't. That means something is different." She walked back to the core and began placing small crystal rods around its base. I need you to help me connect these rods to the core, she said. Your touch will complete the circuit. Adam walked over, knelt beside her, and carefully placed the rods where she pointed Dot as they worked. The lights in the core grew brighter. The hum in the air changed. The forest around them seemed to breathe easier. After a few minutes, Scifi stepped back. It is enough for now. The core is stabilizing. Adam looked at her. So what happens next? She didn't answer right away. Instead, she looked out into the glowing forest. There is something wrong, she said softly. Something beyond? The storm, I can feel it. Something touched the grove when the core was weak. Something that doesn't belong. You think someone sent the storm? Adam asked. Yes, she said, and I fear it was sent for me. Adam frowned. Why would anyone want to find you? She looked back at him, her voice low. Because I guard something powerful, and not everyone wants peace. The next morning, a soft golden light filled the grove. The glowing trees swayed gently, though there was no wind. Adam sat near the grove core, watching the strange crystal lines pulse slowly. It looked alive. Scifi returned with 2 pieces of fruit that shimmered like pearls. She handed one to Adam. It is safe, she said. You need food. He took a cautious bite. It was sweet and cool, like biting into light itself. Thanks, Adam said. Not bad. She sat beside him, quiet for a moment. Then she spoke. We must complete the ritual today. Adam raised an eyebrow. You still haven't told me what this ritual is. Scifi looked at the core, her eyes serious. It is not magic. It is science, old science. The core must be fully reconnected to the forest. If we wait too long, it will shut down completely. Life here will begin to fade. So it's like turning the power back on? Adam asked. In a way, she said. But the grove does not. Trust machines alone. It needs a living link. That is where you come in. Adam stared at the glowing obelisk. Why me? I'm just a soldier. I shoot things and follow orders. Scifi stood and walked to a circle of glowing stones around the core. Because you are here. You are inside the grove. The core accepted. It sees something in you even if you don't. Adam slowly stood and followed. He still didn't understand why this place reacted to him. But something inside him said this mattered. What do I do? He asked. She handed him a long crystal rod. Place this in the center of the circle, then stand inside it. I will guide. You from the outside, Adam did as she said. As soon as he stepped into the circle, the ground lit up under his feet. The rod glowed brighter in his hands. Scifi closed her eyes and began to speak in a soft, ancient language. The core responded, humming louder. Light flowed through the forest, moving from tree to tree, flower to flower, until it all focused on the circle where Adam stood. He felt a warmth spread through his chest. His vision blurred again. Suddenly he was somewhere else. He saw stars, galaxies spinning, ancient ships drifting through space. He saw the builders of the grove, tall, graceful beings like Scifi. They created life, not war. They healed broken worlds. Then he saw something darker, a black void, metal beasts with red eyes. Machines made to consume, to copy, to spread. He saw them land on planets, tearing down forests, cities, even mountains to build more of themselves. And in the middle of all of it, a symbol. It was human. Adam gasped and dropped the rod. The vision stopped. The light faded. He fell to his knees, breathing hard. Scifi rushed to him. What did you see? Adam looked up at her, shaken. That storm, it wasn't natural. Something was scanning, searching, and now it knows where. You are. Scifi's face grew pale. You are certain? Yes, he said, and it used my signal to find you. She looked away, her voice low. Then the grove is no longer hidden. Adam stood slowly. I think someone back on my ship knew this would happen. They wanted me to come here. They used me to activate the core. Scifi's eyes narrowed. Then they wanted this place awakened, not to protect it, but to take it. Adam clenched his jaw. They think this place is just technology. Something they can use, sell, control. But they do not understand it. Scifi said. The grove is alive. It cannot be owned, Adam nodded. Then we have to protect it. Scifi studied him for a long moment. Why would you help me? Your people may come for you. For this place. He looked out at the shining forest. Because I've seen enough war, he said, and I know what it destroys. She nodded. Then we fight together. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the forest. A sharp humming noise filled the air. Birds flew away. Trees shivered. They ran to the edge of the clearing and saw a trail of smoke rising in the distance. A crash site, something or someone had landed. Scifi narrowed her eyes. It begins. Adam checked his gear. He had no rifle, no armor, just a few tools and his instinct. Do you have weapons here? He asked. No, Scifi said. But we have the forest, and the grove has defenses. She reached into the roots and pulled out a small, glowing orb. It floated in her hand and gave off a sharp tone. The trees around them responded. Branches moved, roots shifted, the ground itself began to wake. Adam's eyes widened. You're controlling the forest? I don't control it, she sighed. I ask, and if it agrees, it acts. He smiled slightly. That's amazing, she looked at him. Let us hope it is enough. They began moving toward the crash site, fast but careful. Scifi led the way, moving with silent speed, and Adam followed, staying low and alert. Something had found them, and it was already inside the grove. Adam moved through the glowing forest with quiet steps, his eyes sharp and alert. Beside him, Scifi glided silently over the moss-covered ground, her hand holding the small floating orb. The forest shifted around them as if it knew something was wrong. The air had changed, still sweet but now heavy with tension. Ahead, smoke curled into the sky. Trees had been scorched, their glowing leaves blackened. A sharp metallic scent filled the air. We're close, Scifi said, her voice low. Adam nodded. He crouched behind a large root and scanned the clearing ahead. There it was, a crash pod, half buried in the earth, metal cracked and still smoking. But it wasn't Terran military. It looked newer, sleeker, built for speed, not defense, and standing beside it was a figure tall, human-like, covered in dark armor. A helmet with a red visor hid its face. The figure moved slowly, scanning the forest, holding a device in one hand and a weapon in the other. It wasn't just a soldier. It was a hunter, not one of mine, Adam whispered. Not from my unit. Scifi's expression turned hard. It carries stolen tech. Something from the old wars. Adam narrowed his eyes. A mercenary? She shook her head. Worse, a seeker. He frowned. What's a seeker? Agents paid by powerful buyers, she said. They look for rare technology, ancient weapons, living systems. They don't care what they destroy. To get it, Adam's jaw tightened. So someone knew this place existed and sent him here. Yes, Scifi replied. And now he has found the grove. They watched as the seeker placed a small spike into the ground. It began to glow. A scanning wave spread out across the forest. The light passed over Adam and Scifi, but the orb in her hand pulsed once, and the wave bent around them like water flowing around a stone. He's mapping the grove, Adam said. Looking for the core, Scifi nodded. If he reaches it, he will either steal it or destroy it. We cannot let him pass. Adam checked his belt. He had one shock grenade, a broken communicator, and a small knife. Not much to fight with, he said. Scifi pointed at the trees. We won't fight alone. She closed her eyes and whispered something in her own language. The forest responded, vines moved, roots shifted. Tiny glowing insects flew from the flowers, buzzing with purpose. Adam watched in awe. You're calling him back up. I'm asking for help, she corrected. Now follow my lead. She stepped forward, and Adam followed her down into the clearing. The seeker's scanner beeped once, and the red visor snapped toward them. Identify yourselves. The voice was robotic, deep, and cold. Adam raised his hands. Easy, just a lost scout. Don't shoot. The seeker aimed his weapon. You are not registered in this zone. You are in violation of private sector territory. Adam took a slow step forward. Didn't know this was private. Who do you work for? The seeker didn't answer. Instead, he threw something to the ground, a black sphere. Smoke exploded out in all directions. Adam dove to the side. The Seeker fired. A red bolt burned into the ground where Adam had just been. Get behind cover, Adam shouted. Scifi moved swiftly, and the forest came alive. Vines shot out from the ground, wrapping around the Seeker's legs. He sliced through them with a plasma blade, but more came. Glowing roots grabbed his feet. Trees bent toward him. The orb in Scifi's hand pulsed faster. Now, she yelled. Adam rushed forward, tossing his shock grenade. It exploded with a flash of blue light. The Seeker's armor sparked, and he stumbled back. Adam tackled him, grabbing the weapon and shoving it aside. The two struggled on the forest floor, rolling through broken branches and sparks. The Seeker was strong, much stronger than any normal human. Adam's arms burned with effort as he blocked a heavy punch. Then Scifi appeared behind them. Her hand touched the Seeker's back, and the orb in her other hand glowed bright white. A shockwave burst from her palm. The Seeker was thrown across the clearing and hit a tree with a metallic crash. Smoke rose from his armor. The red light in his helmet flickered, then went out. Adam stood up, breathing hard. Is he dead? Scifi walked over and placed her hand on the helmet. The orb dimmed. No, she said, but he is disabled. For now. Adam looked down at the cracked helmet. The face inside was pale, human, but the eyes were cold and empty. Not someone he could reason with. We need to move him, Adam said. Before more come, Scifi nodded. The grove will take care of it. She touched the ground, and the roots began to move. Gently but firmly, they pulled the Seeker underground, wrapping him in glowing vines. Within moments, he was gone, buried. Beneath the forest, Adam stared in silence. That's one way to clean up. Scifi turned to him. This was only the first. More will come. Adam sighed. Yeah, if someone hired a Seeker, they won't stop with one. She stepped close, her silver eyes calm but intense. Then we must act first. We cannot wait for them to find us again. Adam nodded. What do you have in mind? Scifi looked toward the sky, where the stars had begun to appear through the glowing trees. There is a place, she said. A deep chamber under the grove, hidden for centuries. It holds something powerful, something the Seekers want. We must reach it before they do. Adam adjusted his gear and took a deep breath. Then let's go find it. And together they disappeared into the heart of the forest toward the secret that could change everything. The deeper Adam and Scifi moved into the forest, the darker the world became. The soft glowing plants grew fewer, and the trees stood taller like silent guards. The air was cooler, filled with mist that clung to Adam's uniform. Even the sounds of the forest had faded. This part of the grove feels older, Adam whispered. Scifi nodded. Few have ever come this far. This is the sacred root, the heart beneath the heart. As they walked, the ground changed. Instead of soil, it became smooth and glass-like, reflecting the faint light around them. Strange symbols glowed faintly beneath their feet. The roots above twisted into long, arching shapes, like the hallway of a forgotten temple. Finally, they stopped in front of a wide wall made of crystal. At its center was a symbol shaped like a tree with stars in its branches. It pulsed slowly with a soft blue light. Scifi stepped forward and placed her palm against it. The wall shimmered, then slowly dissolved into mist, revealing a spiral staircase going down into the earth. Adam looked at her. How deep is it? Far below the roots, she replied. To the oldest part of the grove, where the ancient ones left their final gift. They began their descent, one slow step at a time. As they moved down, the walls around them glowed with images, moving pictures of a time long gone. Adam saw tall figures building the grove, creating light, teaching young minds. Then he saw a warning, images of dark ships, of planets burning, of machines without faces. When they reached the bottom, they entered a massive round chamber. At the center was a platform with a floating orb larger than any Adam had seen. It spun slowly, glowing with deep green and gold light. Strange machines surrounded it, half alive, half metal. This is it, Scifi said softly. The heart seed, Adam stepped forward, cautious. What does it do? She looked at the orb, a touch of sadness in her voice. It holds the memory of the planet. The knowledge of its builders. It can heal lands, grow forests, or destroy invaders. But only when awakened, Adam raised an eyebrow. And I bet it hasn't been used in a long time. Not since the last war, she said. The builders sealed it away when they left. They feared what others might do with it. Adam looked around. And now someone wants it, the Seekers. Whoever sent that storm, they knew this was here. Yes, Scifi said, and if they take it, they can reshape entire worlds. Not just this one. Adam walked up to the orb. As he approached, it pulsed stronger, brighter. It knows you, Scifi said. Her voice low, he stared at the spinning heartseed. Is that a good thing? Scifi stepped beside him. You were drawn to the grove, accepted by the core, now. The heartseed recognizes you too. I believe you were not sent here by accident. Adam frowned. You think someone planned this? I believe you were chosen, she replied. Maybe by something higher, or maybe by the grove itself. Adam touched the orb. A burst of energy shot through him, but it wasn't pain, it was memory. He saw visions of forests growing from nothing, deserts blooming, dead planets coming to life. Then he saw destruction cities turn to dust, skies burned by light. The power inside this thing could build or break worlds. The orb spoke, not in words but in feeling. Choose. Adam stepped back, breathing hard. It wants me to choose? Yes, Scifi said. You must awaken it. But how it awakens depends on you, your thoughts, your heart. Adam paced the platform. If I bring it back to my people, they'll use it as a weapon. Sell it, control it. But if we hide it again, the Seekers will just keep coming. There may be another way, Scifi said. He turned to her. If you bond with the heartseed, she explained, you become its guardian. Like me, it will live through you, but it is a life oath. You would be tied to this planet forever. Adam looked at the orb, then back at her. So I can become part of the grove? Yes, she said. But only if you truly want to protect it. There is no going back. He thought of his life before cold ships, orders, battles that left nothing behind. He had been trained to fight, not to protect something beautiful, but now he saw a future worth saving. I don't know how. To be a guardian, Adam admitted. You already are, she said. You chose to stay, you chose to help. He looked at the orb again. Okay, he said at last. I'll do it. Scifi nodded and stepped back. The orb began to spin faster, its light growing warmer. Roots from the platform reached out and gently wrapped around Adam's arms and chest, not to harm him, but to hold him steady. He felt warmth spread through his body, then peace. His heart slowed, his mind opened. He wasn't just standing on the planet anymore, he was part of it. He could feel the wind above, the birds flying, the movement of every leaf in the grove. He could feel Scifi beside him, not just near him, but connected. When the light faded, the orb rested quietly once more. Adam opened his eyes. They glowed faintly green. Scifi stepped forward. You are part of us now, Adam smiled slowly. I feel it, everything, I understand now. But then the ground shook, a loud hum echoed through the chamber. The glowing lines on the walls flickered. Scifi turned toward the staircase. They found us! Adam clenched his fists. Then let's make sure they regret it. The ground shook again. Dust fell from the ceiling of the hidden chamber. The glowing orb, the heartseed, pulsed with warning. Something powerful had entered the grove. Adam turned to Scifi. They're coming fast. How many? Scifi closed her eyes. The forest spoke to her. She opened them again. 3 drop ships, at least 20 armed seekers. Heavy weapons. They are headed for the core. Adam's heart pounded. They want to cut the grove from the inside. They want the heartseed, Scifi said, voice calm but firm. They will take it by force. Adam stepped forward. He no longer felt like the same soldier who had fallen into the grove days ago. The bond with the heartseed had changed him. He could feel the pulse of every root, every tree, every drop of life in the forest. They don't understand, he said. They think this is just ancient technology. A tool, but it's more than that. Yes, Solari replied. It is life itself. Adam clenched his fist. Then we protect it, whatever it takes. Solari nodded. Come, the grove has prepared. They climbed the spiral stairs quickly. As they reached the upper levels, the forest had changed. The trees no longer stood silent. Their branches moved like arms ready for battle. The glowing insects flew in thick swarms, forming walls of light. The roots beneath the earth shifted, twisting and rising, forming barricades. At the edge of the grove, the first dropship landed. It was large, black, and covered in sharp panels. Its engines roared as the hatch opened. From inside, armored seekers marched out in lines, their red visors scanning the forest. Secure the core, one of them shouted. Retrieve the energy source. They spread out, forming ranks, ready to attack. But the forest was not silent. Without warning, vines shot from the ground, wrapping around the legs of the first wave. Roots grabbed weapons and pulled them down. Glowing birds dive-bombed their helmets, breaking their focus. Solari raised her hand, and the orb in her palm flashed. The trees obeyed, branches swung like hammers, knocking seekers aside. The glowing flowers released clouds of sweet-smelling gas that caused confusion and fear among the invaders. From behind a stone pillar, Adam raised a vine-covered rifle. A living weapon grown by the grove. It hummed in his hands. He fired. The green energy beam hit a seeker's chest and knocked him backward. Not deadly, but strong enough to stop, he moved through the battlefield quickly, shooting, dodging, guiding the forest attacks. He wasn't just fighting, he was leading the defense. A seeker aimed a rocket launcher at the core. Adam saw it and shouted, Solari. Now, she closed her eyes and whispered a word in her old tongue. A massive tree behind the core suddenly split open. From inside came a creature, a guardian grown by the heartseed. It looked like a giant Volf made of bark and light. It leapt forward and smashed the launcher with one strike. The battle raged, but Adam and Solari were not alone. The grove had awakened. Seekers fell back, confused. Their scanners failed, their weapons jammed. Even the ground beneath their feet betrayed them. In the middle of the chaos, the Seeker commander stepped forward. His armor was stronger, darker. His visor glowed brighter than the others. He raised a heavy cannon and aimed it directly at Solari. Adam saw it. He didn't think. He ran. The blast fired. A beam of red-hot energy shot through the air. Adam jumped, pushing Solari out of the way. The beam hit his shoulder, burning through the uniform. He fell hard. Adam! Solari cried, rushing to him. He groaned, holding his arm. It was burned but not destroyed. The grove had already started healing it. I'm fine, he said through clenched teeth. Just a scratch. The commander stepped forward, raising the cannon again, but before he could shoot, a wave of roots surged from the ground and wrapped around him. He fought, but the vines tightened. Solari stood tall, glowing with light from head to toe. You entered a sacred place, she said, and you tried to steal its heart. The vines crushed the weapon in the commander's hand. He struggled. Once more then, the forest pulled him under the earth. Silence returned, one by one. The remaining seekers dropped their weapons. Some ran. Others surrendered, dropping to their knees as the forest watched them. Adam stood slowly. The pain in his arm was fading. The grove was healing him from within. It's over, he said. Solari nodded. For now. They walked back to the core. The trees opened a path for them. The heartseed pulsed gently, like a living heartbeat, calm and steady. Adam looked around. The grove was alive, breathing, whole again, but he knew this wouldn't be the last threat. They'll come again, he said quietly. Others, maybe stronger. Yes, Solari replied. But next time we'll be ready, together, Adam smiled. So what now? She looked at the trees. Now we rebuild. We grow and we protect. Adam nodded. He felt the grove inside him, the light, the strength of the purpose. He was no longer just a soldier, he was a guardian.